Let's do it live.
Oh, Teddy just
My God,
fucking dropped out.
Jesus.
Soon as
Murphy.
I hit the fucking
Cast.
stream button.
Teddy fucking falls. All right.
Fuck
Please
it.
hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Meanwhile, at my bowl, it's getting a little shimmy, y'all.
Meanwhile, behind the facade of this.
You wouldn't believe, yeah. The audacity of some motherfuckers these days. Tell you what, there's too many drugs going on. Too many drugs. Ashtray doesn't use them fast. Fucking Murphy. Well,
I had to switch my phone.
All right, we can hear you.
Hey, all right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, our fearless leader, Teddy. Teddy, you with us? Back, our fearless leader. Teddy Bear.
What?
All right, we wanted to make sure you weren't dead.
But you didn't answer.
You didn't answer.
It's not like you just disappeared at the very beginning of the show.
Yeah, at the very start of the episode, our audience is completely flabbergasted. They don't know what's going on. We're trying to explain that we had some technical difficulties with your connection. Meanwhile, you're ignoring my prompts. So, carry on, good sir, Mystic.
All right.
Where were we?
In this episode of the Red Eye Report, we discuss death. We cry, laugh, and tell enriching stories that will enhance everyone's life. Just kidding, fuck you. With me this week is the all-seeing Oracle. Oracle has driven more sports cars in the past 2 months than I have in a decade. I'm not sure how many old white men he had to blow to attain that privilege, but more power to you, bro.
Not enough.
About 5.
Not enough.
Another notch in my belt.
We've also got a soot-covered ashtray. The only death Ashtray has ever witnessed is that of his social life. When people found out he makes smut lighters for a living, the invitations all went away.
Well, you know, I gotta be some sort of pariah.
Next to him is the fluffy teddy bear. Teddy used to like fucking women who had grown-ass kids, probably so he could murk them in Call of Duty online while berating their mother's bedroom prowess.
You're not going to let me forget about that, are you?
Last and least, I'm the Mystic. This is my therapy. Fuck your couch. And this is the Red Eye Report. All right.
Boom.
I don't understand why I can't get my headphones to come through this fucking phone.
Jesus.
I don't know, dude.
Dane County Humane Society is dependent upon you there, Teddy.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
That's a fucking...
Who we fucking supporting this week?
Oh, it's a hedgehog named Mrs. Rogers.
Didn't we already have a hedgehog? How many fucking abandoned hedgehogs are out?
Hedgehogs are really in vogue right now. Have you seen all those pictures that those people put on Reddit? The fucking little hedgehog with the suitcase.
Really?
It's like, I'm on a train station. Oh, and it's like, here's a hedgehog on a beach scene. It's like, oh,
like a real hedgehog?
He's like Sherlock Holmes solving a murder.
I remember wanting one back in the day when Sonic first came out.
Oh yeah,
like,
you ever had one?
Hedgehogs don't look anything like that. They're just
I know
fucking...
If you get a nice one, they're cute. But yeah, like one who's kind of pissy, all they do is go psst, and they fucking poke you. They're little bitches. Ain't that fun? I'll tell you that.
All right, pause for the cause.
All right, Mrs. Rogers, the hedgehog.
Mrs. Rogers.
All right, wow. I'm gonna have to leave the call and join back.
She was sassy. They wouldn't let her on the show. You got what?
All right, Teddy will be back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Tonight,
I'll catch up.
Gonna do some deep research.
We're gonna talk about people who actually died in front of like an audience, sporting events, like ones that actually like, not
Are these all primarily sporting?
Like sporting, huh?
I'm gonna say, are these gonna be all sporting events, or are there some of them like theaters, or
some of them? Yeah, some of them are a little different. You'll see.
Okay.
So we'll start. Obviously, people died like a tremendous amounts of people died back in the Greek days of like the Olympics and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that was just a common thing.
Right.
Like obviously, but we've moved into a
especially
modern
when
era.
they played the tiger hurdle.
Right, exactly. Yeah, when they're out there fucking fighting lions and shit, you know, something's gonna happen. So we're going to start, though, in the more modern sporting era, where games like that became games and not fucking life and death. So
When would you say that started? Like what time period would that
I'd
be?
say around the 1800s, probably middle to late 1800s.
Okay.
Before that, sports were, I mean, they were sports, but
Mhm.
they were pretty fucking brutal.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
Like,
post Civil War, they're like, you know what?
yeah,
We've
yeah,
had
we ain't
enough
got nothing
fucking
better to
death
do. Let's
sport. Let's chill out a little bit.
So, okay. So American baseball player Ray Chapman played as a shortstop for the Cleveland Indians throughout his entire career. He's the only Major League Baseball player to die from an injury, though, on field. He was hit in the head by Carl Mays, a Yankees pitcher, in 1917. He died. He didn't die on the field. He died 12 hours later, but he was knocked unconscious on the field. So everybody thought he was fucking dead.
Yeah.
That was at the Apollo grounds. He's actually in the Hall of Fame now, probably just because of that.
First to die on the field. Right. First to give his life for the game.
Well, I imagine they definitely didn't have helmets back then.
Oh, no.
They stuck a sock under their ball cap.
Yeah. So Antonio Puerta was a Spanish soccer player. He was an attacking left field. Get to the fucking part. God, this website is so bad. I hate this. Okay, here we go.
Website's fucked.
So he had a heart attack. He died in the penalty area in the 35th minute of the game.
Wow.
And
he died in the penalty area. Hope that penalty was good. Fucking fouled the shit out of that motherfucker. You should have seen the other guy. He's already dead.
So obviously, like boxers and shit, you know what I mean? They've died in front of people. So we got Duck Koo Kim, South Korean boxer Duck Koo Kim, won 17 out of 20 fights that he ever participated in. He died during a world championship boxing match against Ray Mancini in 1982. I've actually heard about this. Ray Mancini killed a dude.
I have not heard about this at all.
Yeah. Mancini became the winner by TKO 19 seconds into the 14th round.
Damn.
In the 14th round, though.
So, yeah, he died of a subdural hematoma. Basically, he just crushed his fucking skull.
Wow.
All right, so 7. Frank Hayes was an American jockey and is the only person in the history of horse racing to win. What was it? Hold on. I have to get this right. Hayes is the first and only jockey known to have won a race after dying. So they don't know when he died, but sometime riding this horse around in the Belmont Stakes, he had a massive heart attack and still won.
Damn.
Right as he's crossing the finish line.
Yeah. Won a fucking race.
Do they strap those guys on those horses, or how the fuck did he stay on there?
You are in a very tight, secure position, and you're kind of crouched up and hunched over. I imagine if you had a heart attack and your body tensed up, you would still kind of stay on that fucking horse.
Right.
Yeah. Good thing he didn't shit himself.
Like, I bet he did eventually. Probably as they were putting that big wreath around the horse's neck, he just just rolled off the side of the horse.
So,
shit running down.
The horse's name was Sweet Kiss, and it was never ridden again. Yeah, I mean, that's what they changed it to. Sweet Kiss of Death is now its nickname. It has been ever since. That was in 1923. Chuck Hughes was a football player. 1967. He had a heart attack. Played for the Detroit Lions, actually. 1971. Playing the Chicago Bears at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. Collapsed on the 15-yard line.
Yeah, playing in Detroit, scary place.
Yeah. Reggie Lewis, American basketball player. He collapsed. Had a massive heart attack in 1993, it was. Yeah. I don't know that I think I don't see that one live, but I do remember it. So we got Bill Masterson, who was a hockey player. He played for the Minnesota North Stars, from 67 to 68. He faced a severe internal brain injury on the game against the Oakland Seals. I didn't even know there was a team called the Oakland Seals.
Oakland Seals.
That was one hell of a check into the board, huh?
Yeah, you died almost instantly during the first period.
Damn.
The impact of the collision with Larry Cahan and Ron Harris caused Masterson to bleed from his nose, ears, and mouth.
Jesus,
Jesus
Christ.
Yeah.
Kiss of death for you.
Yeah, dude, that's some crazy.
Yeah.
People talk about shit nowadays, man. They used to just fucking, good lord.
And they didn't have those full face masks they do now.
Wildin'.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this next dude, I never heard of him. He's died in 2003, I guess, at a FIFA match. Soccer player. He had a hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, another heart attack type thing. Number 2, and I remember this one, Dale Earnhardt. One of the most winningest racers in.
Can I interject here and say, does anyone else feel like it didn't look like it was that bad? The accident?
Earnhardt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that bad.
Yeah, it was just kind of into the wall,
He like
right?
sideswiped into the wall. But then
Well,
it's like,
but it's just the way it jerked, isn't it?
But he also did put his own son into the wall and win a race, so you know.
Right, so he had it coming, is what you're saying.
The Intimidator for fucking being nice.
Yeah. You gotta learn sometime, boy.
Doing it for Dale.
In the wall too. And number 1, Ayrton Senna. I don't remember this one live. It was 93 European Grand Prix.
Oh, we watched that documentary about him, didn't we?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, it was the fuck race was that?
That was to the wall.
Yeah, Imola in Italy. Yeah, and the way he hit that fucking wall at just the right spot and fucking killed him.
Well, it was like head on, right? I remember. It's like
pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. So those are some famous dudes, people that have died in front. So
let's give them a hand.
Yeah,
I did see one video. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I did see one video where it was a guy. I need to look it up. It was some soccer game in some third world country. He scored a goal and did a backflip, but he landed wrong and broke his neck.
Damn, and fucking died.
Yeah, he died right there. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Let me see if I can find.
He's on this list, dude. I'll get to it.
Oh, okay.
That's such a, like, as a fan to see something like that. Like your team, your guy fucking scores the winning goal and then snaps his own neck. Like, what a fucking psychological roller coaster.
Yeah.
All right, so I need to get through this one. This is a lot of African names, and I don't know how to pronounce them. So.
I'll help you out, buddy.
Apparently, in the Central African nation of Congo, in 1998, an entire soccer team was killed by lightning.
What?
What?
Holy fuck.
Okay, so here's the story. Two villages. Let's just say Bena Sadi is one of them. That's not how you say it, I'm sure. And Basagna. Again, not how you say it. They're playing each other. It was 1-1 when the lightning struck, killing all 11 members of the Bena Sadi team and injuring more than 30 spectators. So investigators, just listen, this is 1998. Investigators determined that the freak lightning bolt was the result of witchcraft, no doubt conjured by someone rooting for the Basanga team. That team, after all, walked off the field without a single injury. According to the Congolese press agency, sorcery is commonly used to influence games. Not to trample on their beliefs, but lightning strikes open soccer fields are not all that rare. That same weekend, 6 soccer players were injured when lightning interrupted their game in South Africa.
Damn.
So I guess this is common, but for like all 11 of them to
get killed, yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
Too much polyester in their uniforms.
Yeah, right. Should have had cotton that breathes.
Yep, breathes.
So the 90-mile-an-hour death of Nodar Kuma something. He's Indian again.
Nailed it.
So 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. This dude was a luge racer, right? I think I remember this actually. He was going. Yeah, he was fucking doing a run, a
Way to
practice
spoil
run.
it, Teddy.
And before he went on it, actually, his dad told him to slow down because he was coming too hot into the last corner, and he said, "I will either win or die." Well, it
Damn.
wasn't win. So, yeah, he came around the last corner, turned 16, a sweeping right curve at just over 90 miles an hour, which is way faster than you need to be going. And he ended up fucking just sliding right off and slamming into a fucking pole.
Damn.
Right then, and like almost died almost instantly.
When was that?
2010.
Okay.
Sustaining massive head and torso injuries. Pronounced dead at this hospital. Yeah. So that dude, we've already gone over the sweet kiss of death. Here is boxing one. Hold
the
on.
rest of the story.
So in boxing,
Paul Harvey.
obviously, it is one of the most violent sports out there. You're just beating the living shit out of each other, right?
Like you do.
Between 1884, when the Queensberry rules were adopted, and 1995, an estimated 500 boxers died from their injuries. 22 died in 1953 alone.
Damn.
Perhaps the most famous incident was when Jimmy Doyle died of brain injuries after a punch from Sugar Ray Robinson in a 1947 World Welterweight fight.
They had boxing gloves like back then, right?
Yeah, they were way smaller though.
Yeah.
There was hardly any padding on them. Yeah, let's move on to the next one. Death by celebration. That's what Teddy was talking about. His name was Peter Biaksangula. He was... Who the fuck is he playing for? I don't know. There it is. 23-year-old midfielder from Bethlehem, Venklong, somewhere in India. Yeah, so he did a backflip and landed on his neck and broke his fucking neck. And died celebrating. Pretty
God
sure he's the
damn.
only person ever to die
You should have
celebrating.
just done a barrel roll.
Yeah. So
do a barrel roll.
and now, so I kind of want to talk about racing for a second. This thing right here. So base jumping is one of the most deadly sports out there. 46 deaths out of every 100,000 participants.
Yeah.
Right? 43 deaths for skydiving. And for racing, it is around 1,000 per 100,000. So it is by far
Way
the
higher.
deadliest sport on
Yeah.
the planet.
Do
And I don't think that gets talked about enough because every single fucking time any one of those dudes gets in a vehicle, they're putting their life on the line.
Right.
It isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't fucking like you're playing baseball. You know what I mean? You might get hit by a pitch and die. Yeah. What's the fucking odds of that?
Right.
Compared to driving a car,
Or you might get
nothing.
jock itch. Ooh.
And actually, second deadliest sport is soccer
Really?
because of heart attacks. Yeah.
A lot of fucking running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much for me.
Okay. So then, death by snow groomer. This one's actually pretty. I don't know. I don't want to say it's funny, but
Snow groomer.
So this is
Is that
1992.
what them
Marked the
drag
last
queens are
time.
trying to do with our children?
The 1992 marked the last time the Winter and Summer Olympics were held in the same year in France. So this one dude who was a downhill speed skier, Nicolas Bochaté, was warming up for the finals on a public slope at La Chère, France. So he was fucking heading down, blah, 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 whatever. And nobody warned him that when he came over this fucking like hump in the fucking hill or whatever, he couldn't see below it. And people were trying to wave to him. There was a gigantic fucking snow machine, a snow groomer that's packing the snow, and he slammed fucking right into it, sustaining massive internal injuries and dying immediately.
Jesus.
Yeah. So that one's pretty fucked up. Now, I learned something
Oh,
else
Ryan
today.
Runner.
This is really fucked up. Ireland has 2 incidents named Bloody Sunday. Okay? There's the
there's
one
2
that the
Bloody
U2
Sundays?
song. Yeah, there's the one
Yeah.
that the U2 song was talking about. That happened in 1971 during a protest when the government opened fire on protesters and killed 23 people. Now, in 1920, the first Bloody Sunday, citizens of Dublin, Ireland awoke on the morning of November 20th, 1920 to gunfire. The Irish War of Independence had been raging for nearly 2 years. And that Sunday morning, the IRA touched off coordinated assassinations of undercover British intelligence agents, killing 15 and wounding 5. In pursuit of the assailants, the police arrived at Croke Park, where a soccer match between the Tipperary and Dublin soccer teams were being held. The police suspected some of the assassins had slipped in among the soccer fans. So at 3:25 that afternoon, 10 minutes into the game, the police blocked the Croke Park exits, and a contingent was sent in to search the crowds, estimated to be 5,000 strong, for the IRA gunmen. Who fired the first shot is still, a century later, under dispute, but the police began firing indiscriminately into the crowds.
Damn, what the
The
fuck?
first shot was 11-year-old William Robinson, who had climbed a nearby tree to better view the game. Shot in the chest, William died later at the hospital. 2 other schoolboys were killed. A shopkeeper who had been married only 5 days. A military inquiry later concluded the police shootings were excessive and unauthorized. No shit.
Yeah, no. You think?
Yeah. So yeah, that was their first Bloody Sunday in 1920. And them Irish people go through some shit. Good lord.
Yep. Maybe if they had better food.
Fucking potatoes, man.
Fucking potatoes and
Make it
onions.
crazy.
Yeah, so let's get to Lane Frost. You guys ever seen the movie 8 Seconds?
I
No.
don't think so.
Bull riding.
Oh,
So
Oh
last
yeah,
ride
the
of
guy
Lane
got
Frost. Yep. He wrote, what was the fucking crowd's name? I know Primus wrote a song about it. Bodacious.
Hmm.
Anyway, we all know this story.
let me guess. The
He
bull
fucked it.
took him out to dinner and he didn't pay, and the bull was
Yep.
pissed.
Yeah, so here it is. Lane's ride of TCB, taking care of business. That was the bull's name. Really?
Fucking took the trash out.
His last ride, Lane's ride of TCB, was perfect, lasting the prescribed 8 seconds, and as TCB turned right, Lane dismounted to the left, landing safely on his hands and knees. Then TCB did something unexpected. He turned and drove his right horn into Lane's back.
Ouch.
A lot of bulls do that. It's kind of their nature, said another bull rider, Cody Lambert. It's something that happens to
Kind of the
everyone who
point.
rides bulls, and sometimes you get a nick or a bruise, but usually you just get up, and later everyone puts you back, pats you on the back, and laughs. Well, that didn't happen with Lane. It punctured a major artery, broke one of his ribs, and it fucking punctured an
oh
artery.
wow.
Yeah, within minutes he was dead.
Damn.
That is fucked up.
Jesus Murphy, right at the end of that perfect run.
Right? Yeah, and then this last one is just
Boy, though, think of the fucking watching the replays up in heaven. Check this out. Fucking went out on top.
so the last thing I want to talk about is Teddy Roosevelt. He was instrumental in getting rule changes in football. So in 1905, what had happened was Roosevelt wanted football to kind of change their rules. See what happened? Football back before 1905 was very different. It there was no forward pass, so in order to move the ball, you just needed brute strength. Players would lock fucking arms and literally just bash themselves into one another without fucking pads or helmets or anything, like rugby.
Yeah,
That's rugby,
okay.
I just say. Like rugby.
So basically, in Teddy Roosevelt,
Another insane
didn't like
sport.
that. Like he wanted it to be violent, but he didn't want people fucking dying. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
so the injuries mounted during the 1905 season. In the freshman tilt against Yale, the president's son was bruised and his nose broken deliberately. The following week, the Harvard varsity nearly walked off the field while playing against Yale after their captain was leveled by an illegal hit and a fair catch that broke his nose and his jaw. The same afternoon, Union College halfback Harold Moore died of cerebral hemorrhage after being kicked in the head while attempting to tackle a New York University runner.
Damn.
It was referred to as the 1905 death harvest. 19 players died and 137 near fatal injuries.
Wow.
That had to have been
So following the
fucking
season,
insane to be
right?
out there.
Well,
Like
it
you
sounds
got
almost
fucking
like it's
war
like prison
stories,
football,
right?
you know?
Well,
Like
following
where
the
it's kind of like
season
kick them all the way
stand-
down. What happens in the pile stays in the pile.
Right?
Fucking
Jeez.
Following the
handies.
season, Stanford and California switched to rugby, which, yeah, okay, that makes sense. While Columbia, Northwestern, and Duke dropped football altogether. Harvard President Charles Aylott, who considered football more brutalizing than prize fighting, cockfighting, or bullfighting, warned that Harvard could be next.
Bring your money here.
So basically, Teddy Roosevelt was responsible for starting the precursor, I guess. It was an intercollegiate conference. It wasn't the NCAA. It was the precursor to the NCAA. And they brought about rule changes in the 1906 season, which legalized the forward pass, abolished the dangerous mass formation, so they couldn't lock arms anymore, created a neutral zone between offense and defense, that's your line of scrimmage, and doubled the first down distance to 10 yards to be gained in 3 downs. Wow, it must have been. I didn't know. I don't know
3
what the
downs
rule
and-
changes were before. So, and fatalities dropped to 11 that year in both 1906 and 1907, and obviously have dropped even, to 0
yeah.
for the most part, unless it's, something like a heart attack, an underlying condition. Which is just like, it's amazing that like rugby still exists. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I had an argument. This is kind of what made me think of this. Because after I watched that dude collapse on the field, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is brutal. But then I had a conversation with a dude from Australia like a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Oh, your football players are pussies, look at rugby players, blah blah blah." I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so it doesn't make any sense, dude. Like, why would you go smash yourself into another person with no pads or anything on? It's just stupid. He's like,
They
"But they're
must
real
have
men."
a certain, I don't know. There's supposed to be some sort of level of decorum in how they tackle each other, because they
Yeah.
can't be like headbutting each other.
Right.
Like,
Oh, no.
like
Watch
Yeah.
full on.
Go on YouTube and
UFC
watch
fighting.
rugby matches. There's no decorum. Go on there and watch. I shit you not. They are literally just beating the fucking piss out of each other. Like broken bones, whatever. And then he was like, "Yeah, and we don't have the CTE problems that you have." And I'm like, "Yes, you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
You just don't
Right.
fucking test for it, you fucking
Yeah.
dumbass."
Your,
that's
your
like-
league
that's
doesn't
like
make
those
enough
idiots
money
going,
to.
"Oh,
test for it.
COVID's gone. If we just stop testing for it, it'll be gone." Right?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Anyway, that's
Don't
my
have this-
conversation about fucking death on the field.
Nicely milked out to 31 minutes.
You like that? You like
Nice.
that? All right. Now we're moving on to the what sexy section of the show. Oracle. Challenger.
Went down to Florida for the holidays and wanted to rent a nice car. So I rented a Challenger, and I was going through the lot or whatever, and basically I went through Enterprise, and basically all of the rental companies, apparently the cars they just pool all the cars. It must just be in the paperwork that they do, because we're going through and she's showing me this one, and then she's like, "Well, what about this red one?" And then I see one with the Hemi and over in the black one. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take that one. So I took that, and man, that fucking car. So that was a 2022. They're only going to make the Challenger until 2023, the Hellcat. And then it's going to switch over to a hybrid after that point. But that's a fucking muscle car.
It is, right? I know.
Goddamn, like that feels fucking awesome when
Yeah,
you're
it's
driving that. This one had
800 fucking horsepower.
the 2023 is 800 horsepower.
Okay, so that one's got 717. Ooh, a lot less.
And man, I mean, just the fucking balls on that thing. When you merge off the interstate, I mean, you're just a quarter of the way up the ramp and you're already at fucking interstate speed. You
Yeah.
go out there, it's like you need to merge with me. I'm fucking going here.
Fucking John Wick over here.
Yeah.
I'm the captain now.
Yeah, and it's just it feels awesome. And it feels like we're at a point, you know, where that's going to be going away. And that's kind of the point of, you know, them making this car. You know, it's like this is going to be a bygone era of actually having that gas powered fucking engine.
Now, was it
Feeling
manual or automatic?
This was an automatic.
All
Yeah,
right.
I don't even know if you can. Maybe you could get like a custom
They
fucking.
make paddle shifters.
Yeah, and those are lame on a
it's
car
only-
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only for the drag. It's for because the Hellcat you can get like the drag slicks and shit for it.
Yeah. Awesome car though. I would go out in the morning, like I'd just go for a drive down the fucking beach, like 5 o'clock in the morning, and fucking just awesome feeling. Like I don't know if I've driven a
Right.
car that I've enjoyed driving as much as
Just
that
listening
car.
to ABBA on the way.
Yeah. Great experience. They really nailed it with that. So if you're in the market for a very fast, not practical car, but awesome, just cruising experience. Like if you want like an all-around sports car, whatever they say, you know, like the new Camaros, things like that. Those are probably better all-around cars, but just a fucking muscle car. Incredible experience. So it was cool to have that.
Word.
Way to
All
go.
right.
God bless.
I'm going to
I,
talk about dumb Republicans real quick. 11 tries. They've had 11 tries to vote in a speaker for the House. And they are nowhere near getting there. This is the
Nope.
fifth, that ties the fifth longest in the history of the United States. Like, it hasn't been this way since, what was it, the 20s? Like, that was
yeah,
the
I think it
last
was
I thought it
time.
was Civil War. I thought it was Civil War.
No. Excuse me. They were saying 100 years ago was the last time it took.
Yeah, it's like
9 votes?
1923.
It's
the
now
last
taking
time it
11,
took
and we
more
still
than
haven't got
one.
there.
So, like, what the fuck, dude?
Dumb,
Day
dumb,
3.
dumb.
You know what? Like, this is what are we gonna do on day fucking 685? Are you guys still gonna be fucking beating each other up in Congress and shit? Like, how about we grow up and govern this country?
Yeah, right. I mean, I got shit to do.
Whatever. I like watching it. Eddie, Sonic Frontiers.
So, Sonic Frontiers is the new.
I didn't even
open-
notice that Ashtrays. Sorry.
That's all right. I'll
Ashtrays
pick something different here quick.
No, that's fine. You can do it.
Oh, is your Sonic Frontiers also?
No.
Republicans.
No, I was like,
Yeah.
really? That's strange. I didn't know. Actually,
Yeah, right.
Sonic like this.
Ashtray. Fucking
Like that,
nerd
right?
now. Yeah, Teddy. What up, homie?
This is the newest open world Sonic game, and it is. I mean, there's been plenty of them in the past on Dreamcast and other consoles, and they really got it right this time. It's fucking awesome. Nobody loves you. Get away from me. Okay, goddamn dogs.
Poor child.
You see, they're right here. Just leave me alone. You feel the speed. It is an RPG. There's combat in it. The basis of the game is you get to run around the open world. There's 5 islands. You run around these open worlds, collecting the Chaos Emeralds. Once you get off all 6 Chaos Emeralds, you fight the boss of that land, and then you go to the next land. Do it all over again. You get these as you destroy these. It's kind of like a digital theme that Robot is teaming up with this time. And as you do that, you get these keys that let you open up these digital portals that sends you into the old Sonic levels. The side-scrolling shits and it's and they're real reminiscent of Sonic Adventure from the Dreamcast, but a shit ton better. It's fucking awesome. I didn't want to wait for it to go on sale, so I bought it. I've been playing it. My son's been playing it. I fucking enjoy it. Don't ask me what the story is. I don't fucking know. It's Sonic. There's some weird shit in it. I mean, like there's a lot of mini games in it. There's a fishing mini game for some fucking reason. I feel like they had to put it in there because it was an open world game. And another con would be the camera. But it's they finally got fucking open world Sonic right. I don't know if you're playing the video. Right. I can't see. They did get it right. I mean, it's fucking
right.
awesome. Got it fucking right, bro. It's
fucking A.
Muy bueno. I mean, I give it a solid 8 out of 10. You know.
Nice.
Give it a try. If you like Sonic, because they back, baby. Sega.
All right.
That's all I got.
Ashtray.
All right. Oh, I finally.
Avatizzle.
Avatizzle. Here we go. There's your trailer. Yeah, I went. Let's see. Was it? Oh yeah, New Year's night after my fucking long ass fucking DJing 8 hours for New Year's Eve. Slept for 6 hours and then I took myself out to the Avatar. It's kind of like it. I figure, like the first one, I'm not gonna watch it ever again. Like, but you have to see it in the theater with like the real good 3D glasses and shit. And yeah, for being a 3-hour movie, fucking flies by, and like it has kind of all of the general kind of refugee immigrant family tropes, but James Cameron does well with it.
You mean supervillain James Cameron?
And yeah, supervillain James Cameron, and the also just I guess a unique way of showing a whole different side of that planet.
I do think it's funny that people are like boycotting it because there's no native people in it.
Yeah, I've
they're
heard
all
that.
native.
No native people.
Yeah,
like
even though
Native
it's like
Americans.
yeah.
What?
No, because like none
because
of the
they're
actors
stealing the Native American tropes, even though this is a different planet and these are the native
Right.
So like
people
none of the
that planet.
none of the people who voice
Whatever.
the characters.
Hey, who get shut the? That's so gay.
It's so stupid. Yeah, I know.
Like the fact that people are bitching about that. Like, dude, you gotta fucking get something. You gotta get a life. You gotta fucking stop this shit. That is just crazy.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, there's no trans characters. Motherfucker, the main character gave up his body
Yeah.
to be a fucking Navi. That's the ultimate trans. Are you fucking kidding?
Right. Oh well, he didn't change his gender though while he did it, so he's still he's a cis trans.
No, he just wants to be a fucking big dicked fucking Navi is what he wants.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Cool.
I'm sure he is, but
Sorry, big
nonetheless, if you get a chance to check it out in the theaters, it is definitely, especially if you take a big old fat mushroom and watch all that 3D. It's full of some good fucking action. Some big badass monsters, and like I was joking with my friends, it's like the water is so damn beautiful in the movie that it's like a shame that none of it was real.
Right.
Like did they have the horse things in this one?
Well, they have a similar kind of species. They basically run off to seek refuge with a kind of like basically a different race of Navi who live in the ocean. So they got their own
story.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna spoil the story. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
it's
you always say I'm not spoiling the story.
Whatever. So they got their own horses. They're not horses. They're like, I don't know, fucking sea aliens.
So I guess because
there's a lot of water involved.
I watched
That's why it's called the wave water.
The last one like 10 years after the fact, and I thought it looked good, but the horses, the way they ran was terrible. Like if you go back and watch the original Avatar, like the animation for the horses look like terrible. Fucking Barbie fucking Horseville or whatever.
The water effects alone, it's just like, okay, this is why it cost $2 billion. Like, Jesus fuck, like it's impressive. And also with the 3D effects of like being in water, it's pretty impressive.
Nice.
Check it out.
Shit.
Word.
Who's next? Because I just backed out of the fucking.
Saggy
It's all-
balls, or
Tell me the fuck what you think.
I know.
yep. Fuck what you
Saggy
think.
balls.
Time.
Saggy balls. So I was going through the airport on the way back,
Story's awesome.
and you know that machine. So you take your stuff and you put it on the conveyor belt. You put your fucking
Did your
shoes.
nuts really get stuck in there?
Hold on.
Thing tried to spin around. Oh,
So you
my
put your shit on the fucking conveyor belt, you know, all your electronics and
Yeah.
everything, and then you have to go over in the other line where you put your hands above your head, and it does the thing where it goes around, and it does some sort of scan. I don't know what kind of scan it does, but I always thought that it was looking for metal on your body, and maybe that's one
Well,
of the
any
things.
foreign objects, I believe.
Right. And so I step out, and usually they'll have you step off to the side. They say, "Step over here, sir." And then they look at the thing, and then they're like, "Okay, good to go." So they're like, "Oh, step over." This old guy, he's like, "Step over here." And he's looking at the screen. He's like, and he points at the screen. He's like, "Looks like we've got something going on here." And I look back, and it's clearly my fucking balls. It's like two orange squares, and
Holy
one's
shit.
hanging lower. Like the left one's hanging lower than the
Hell is
right
that?
one.
Sag balls.
And he's like, looks like you might be a little low in the saddle today. He's like, why don't you hike up your pants for me? And it's not like I was going commando or anything. And he had to pat out the inside of my thighs.
Did he have to pat the inside of your
Yeah,
thigh?
he had
then?
to pat the inside of my thighs. Like, man, old man, you've got saggy balls. You know what the fuck this is. But never had
Wow.
that happen before.
I wonder, he could be one of those. God, there was a couple years ago, one of those like NSA people was caught basically like, calling out certain people. You're like, "Oh, sir, like you need a pat down." He like
Oh,
just
really?
fucking decides, he just alters the program and adds these squares. Look like you're hanging low in the saddle here, buddy.
Yeah.
Ah.
So it was
Like the old guy from Family Guy. You like some popsicles?
an amusing little incident there, but I guess it just means that my balls are sagging lower than ever.
Mama told you not to wear boxers.
Yep.
We did anyways.
There you have it.
All right. I'm gonna talk about the movie The Menu. You guys seen it?
Not yet.
Nope.
Is it streaming
Yeah,
yet?
no.
Mm-hmm.
Or did you rent it?
It's on HBO.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay,
not a
cool.
bad movie. Okay, I enjoyed it. I thought Ray Fiennes was fucking phenomenal. But there was some decisions made in the writing of that movie that I just didn't think were very good. Like the dialogue in some points was stupid. But I felt like the concept was so good that like it kind of I'm kind of torn. Like I want to say fuck off, but I really enjoyed the concept and the execution of the movie. But like the writing at some point was just really douchey. It was Hollywood douchey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, it's
and
like
I felt like it was trying to
it's
be
like
so
Hollywood trying
sophisticated that
to
it couldn't.
make fun of itself more than it
It
really
might
could.
have been. I'd have to watch it again
Because I've heard
the movie was very
it makes a
self-aware
stab at that high culture.
chef culture, that
Yeah,
high-end
okay.
chef food culture. Is what it's stabbing at. And I thought it was going to be like a horror movie. It's not at all. It's more like a suspense
it seemed like a thriller. Okay.
It's like a
Okay.
suspense thriller. There's a little bit of blood, but that's about it. It's more psychological. Like Ray Fiennes that dude fucking plays that shit.
I get the
great.
impression there's a threat of death.
Oh yeah, no.
Very good.
There's a lot of dying. It's just not
Okay.
bloody.
Gotcha.
But yeah, It's worth watching. And you're right. I'd probably have to go watch it again to figure out if like it's just Hollywood kind of being self-meta about how
Oh
douchey
yeah,
that culture
everyone's
is. You know
trying
what
to
I mean?
be.
Right. Well, yeah. And Anya Taylor-Joy is fucking smoking hot. And she's like in a fucking night shirt or like a slip dress the whole time, basically. Titties just pointing straight out.
Titties having to be taped.
Saying, man. Anyway, all right. Ashtray, earaches.
Man, when was the last time you guys had a fucking like an actual genuine earache?
Not.
Fuck, I had my first one
Yeah, long time.
just the other day. And it's like it's not fully unclogged yet, but at least got it subsided the pain anyways. But it was just one of those mornings. I wake up, it's like my fucking ears kind of like there's some fluid in it. You know, it's like foggy hearing, but annoying. Don't not too worried about it. As the day progressed, like by noon, it was like throbbing, like when you were a kid and you got like a bad earache. It's like Jesus fuck. You could feel like your pulse in it, like. Ugh. Actually, the rare times are like I went home early. Thank God it's slow enough. And using a hot compress, and I got like this close to like pulling the emergency. Like I got one last oxycodone pill for these pain emergencies. I got the ibuprofen to take the edge off, and then started fucking hitting it with some general antibiotics, some Sudafed, and some Mucinex. And
Okay.
oh, probably from New Year's, I'm assuming, is what caused it. Because, you know, there's like this one friend who's like, Craig, I can't find my phone. I have no idea where it's at. It could. Last time I saw it was in the bathroom. You should try looking in there. You know, and I come out and like, hey, dude, I found your phone. I mean, it was totally covered in like plaster dust, but you know, I hoovered off as much as I could. Here you go. Happy New Year's.
Plaster dust. Oh,
And that probably contributed. But fuck, it's been a long time since I had earache, and don't recommend it. Don't recommend it at all.
I say we have a Red Eye Report presents Cocaine Bear, and we bootleg the movie live
And watch it.
to
Oh yeah,
Facebook while we're
that's
watching
not
it on
gonna get
cocaine.
banned.
Yeah, right. God,
Or we could just
awesome.
do coke and go see the movie.
That's true. Right? And we can give an addled movie review
Right.
right afterwards.
Fuck, it's the best thing I ever seen.
Yeah.
All right, Teddy. Fucking headsets.
Need a drink. I got a shit.
So I wanted to get a new headset. I knew the one I wanted to get. I love Turtle Beach headsets. I never really had a problem with them. And if when I do have a problem, they fix it really quickly or send me a new pair. So I gave my son my old pair, and I was looking for the 800s. I couldn't find them, so my wife ended up giving me the 700s. What I did not know is they came with a dongle.
Not a dongle.
For one. But yeah, a little dongle, yeah.
A little dongle.
And that's what I need to use to connect to to my Xbox. But it can connect to everything else, just regular Bluetooth wise. And I'm like, why have the dongle if that's the case? But like with so my headset, the sound is not really right. I can't. It's
So the
not
dongle got to
very
go
loud.
in your Xbox? Is that the thing?
It does, yeah. The dongle goes in the Xbox, but it can connect. But the headsets can connect to everything else with Bluetooth without the dongle, which I don't understand.
Weird.
Why
So only Xbox. That's odd.
if you have a PS, if you use it on the PlayStation, it's the same way too. But anyway, I have to update them because I just got them. You got to update them so I can get the latest update, get my sound right. But it's the app that you have to use to update them. It's not reading it. It's not reading. Once I connect my dongle, once I have to connect my dongle and the headset, and once I connect both of them, no matter what order I do it in, it does not read. So I can't. I've had them for like a week. I've not been able to update them. I've been dealing with their troubleshooting things, and they're getting ready to
First world Bluetooth problems.
But I'm like, dude. He's like, well, dude. I'm like, bro. I've been using headsets for 20 years. I know how to update them. All right. So goddamn. I mean, it's a cool headset. They have an app on my phone that I could do my EQ and change all the things I want on the fly. It's actually I actually like these kind of headsets. But the fact that it's not working right and I can't update it is so fucking frustrating. And that's about it. You know.
All right. So, in all seriousness,
Probably should.
go fuck yourself, Republicans.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. That's our
Fuck
show.
up
We're going to be here
politics.
every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central. You can join the conversation at theredeyereport.com or facebook.com/theredeyereport. Like us, share us, and fuck us. We're down for whatever. I'm Mystic.
I'm Oracle.
This is the Ashtray.
And I'm Teddy, bitching about a headset.
And this is the Red Eye Report.
Oh shit.